Hi everyone, and welcome to The Sleepy Scientist. I'm really happy you're here. Tonight, we're going to go on a calm and quiet trip to learn something amazing. So get comfy, take a deep breath, and let's enjoy this peaceful science story together. Before we start, tell me in the comments, where are you watching from and what time is it for you right now? If you like relaxing science videos, don't forget to tap the like button. Now let's begin.
In the quiet expanse of the cosmos, where the darkest of nights stretch endlessly, there exists a symphony that hums softly through the very fabric of existence. It is a music that plays not on strings nor on drums, but in the silent, unseen pulses of the stars themselves. This cosmic melody is older than time as we know it, vibrating gently in the dark, echoing across the universe for billions of years. This is a music heard not by our ears, but felt deep in the folds of our soul. At first glance, the night sky appears to be a calm, serene ocean of dots, a celestial tapestry that stretches beyond comprehension. The stars seem distant, almost like tiny pinpricks of light against the backdrop of infinity. We have long gazed at these brilliant dots, each one a glowing beacon in the great expanse, not realizing that these seemingly passive lights are not just physical objects, but active participants in the most profound melody ever composed. Each star, burning with immense heat and energy, sends out waves of electromagnetic radiation in the form of light. But what if this light is more than just visible energy? What if it is, in fact, a song? Imagine, if you will, the star Sirius, the brightest star in our night sky, twinkling above. While its light reaches us, a mere speck of brilliance against the inky blackness, it is also vibrating with frequencies that can be captured by the most sensitive of instruments. These frequencies are not the familiar hums of a guitar string or the quiet resonance of a tuning fork. They are the oscillations of matter, energy, and light at a level that stretches beyond our ability to perceive. The stars are not silent. Their vibrations are their music, carrying their essence across vast stretches of space. To us, these vibrations are mostly invisible. Our eyes can only detect a narrow slice of the electromagnetic spectrum, just the visible light spectrum. We see the beautiful glow of a star, but beneath that, beyond what our eyes can comprehend, lies a deeper story. The true music of the stars, in all its forms, is played on frequencies far outside the visible spectrum, stretching into infrared and ultraviolet, X-rays and radio waves. Just as a piece of music can reach its crescendo in ways we don't always expect, the stars, too, release their own symphonic pulses, and these pulses resonate in waves across the universe. Consider for a moment the incredible distance that light must travel to reach us. The nearest star to our solar system, Proxima Centauri, lies over 4 light-years away. This means that the light you see today from Proxima Centauri left the star over 4 years ago. But this light, as it travels across space, carries with it more than just photons. It carries information, energy, and yes, a song. The photons released by Proxima Centauri vibrate, interact with particles, and dance through space in patterns that are anything but random. As they travel across the cosmos, they interact with dust clouds, planets, and even black holes, each one of these cosmic entities contributing its own rhythms and tones to the symphony. The vibrations that come from the stars are a language unto themselves. Just as you might listen to the deep hum of a violin string or the quiet rustling of a leaf in the wind, the stars emit a resonance that stretches across galaxies, bound together by the same cosmic forces. These frequencies are not just random, they are patterns, harmonies that echo through the universe in a grand, cosmic dance. Each star sings a unique note, and when many stars sing together, they create a harmony that is beyond human comprehension. But it is a harmony nonetheless, filling the vast, empty spaces of the universe with soundless but deeply felt music. There is, however, more to the song than just light. The stars are not the only actors in this cosmic performance. The space between the stars, the vast emptiness that we often call the void, is not truly empty at all. This space is filled with cosmic background radiation, the afterglow of the Big Bang itself, and it hums with its own quiet rhythms. Even the very fabric of space-time, that invisible stage upon which the stars play their song, is itself vibrating. These subtle vibrations, called gravitational waves, ripple through the cosmos, carrying with them the whispers of celestial events, the merging of black holes, the collapse of massive stars, and the collisions of galaxies. When scientists first detected gravitational waves, ripples in spacetime caused by powerful cosmic events, many marveled at the idea that these waves were themselves a form of music. It is as though the universe, in its deepest, most fundamental state, is playing an eternal tune. And the stars, as luminous, fiery beings, are not the only ones contributing to the melody. The entire cosmos is vibrating together in perfect harmony, from the most distant galaxy to the dark, mysterious black holes that sit at the heart of every galaxy. Jin, then the beauty of it all. The night sky with its countless stars is not a silent void but a symphony playing out on an unimaginable scale. The universe hums with the music of the stars, of galaxies, of gravitational waves and cosmic radiation. And the best part, we are here standing on a tiny blue dot suspended in space, listening to this music without even realizing it. It is a music that travels beyond our senses, that vibrates in our very bones and hearts, though we may never hear it with our ears. As you lie under the open sky, imagine that the silence is not really silent at all. In the space between the stars, the space between the breaths of our universe, there is an endless calming rhythm that flows through everything. This rhythm, this song of the stars, is both ancient and eternal. It has been playing long before humanity first gazed up in wonder at the night sky, and it will continue long after the last human ear falls silent. It is a melody that transcends time, reaching us in ways that words or even thoughts cannot fully express. Now imagine the stars themselves, each one a flame burning bright, singing its own note into the vast expanse. The stars, those bright pinpricks of light, send out waves of energy, not only as visible light but in the frequencies of sound and vibration. This energy vibrates through the universe, from the furthest reaches of the cosmos to the deepest folds of space. This is the quiet language of the stars, a song that fills the universe with harmony and balance, a song that we are only just beginning to tune in to. And as the stars sing their song, you might wonder, what are they saying? What message do these stars, these cosmic wanderers, have for us? Some scientists believe that this music is a reflection of the order of the universe, an expression of the fundamental laws that govern everything from the movement of planets to the birth and death of stars. Others suggest that it is a reminder of the interconnectedness of all things, that every particle, every wave, every vibration is part of a greater whole. In the grand scheme of things, perhaps the stars are not so distant after all. Perhaps they are singing to us, calling us to listen, to understand, to find meaning in their quiet song. As we begin to explore the cosmic symphony, we dive deeper into the heart of the universe, seeking to understand the patterns, the frequencies, and the connections that bind the stars together. The stars are more than just distant lights. They are the foundation of everything we see and know. They are ancient storytellers, holding within them the secrets of the cosmos. Their music, like the heartbeat of the universe, beats in rhythms too vast for our senses to fully comprehend, yet it speaks to us in ways that stir something deep within our souls. The melodies that emanate from the stars are not chaotic or random, as one might imagine. In truth, they are shaped by the very forces that govern the fabric of the universe. The delicate dance between gravity, electromagnetic forces, and nuclear fusion creates harmonic vibrations that ripple through space. These forces combine to produce not only the light we see, but the very frequencies that define each star's identity. Each star has its own song, its unique wavelength, its own rhythm, crafted by the same cosmic forces that shape galaxies, nebulae, and entire solar systems. When we look at a star, we often think of it as a shining point in the night sky. But beneath that light is a complex web of energy and matter, all vibrating and oscillating in harmony. These vibrations are far beyond what we can hear, but the instruments of modern science, such as the precise detectors and observatories that we have built, can tune into these frequencies. And in doing so, they reveal to us a hidden layer of reality, one that is soft and subtle, but undeniably present. The stars hum a song in a frequency too low or high for the human ear, but the data from these frequencies provides us with a deeper understanding of the universe. In many ways, these vibrations are the language of the stars, a language that speaks not only to the scientific mind, but to the soul itself. Through the study of this cosmic music, we come to learn that the stars are not isolated entities. They are connected by invisible threads of energy, pulling each other together in a great cosmic dance. The light from one star influences the light of others, creating a web of interaction that spans across galaxies. The energies of distant stars reach us, and in return we contribute our own vibrations, though our light is but a small part of the grander symphony. We are part of a larger, ever-expanding orchestra, a living, breathing composition that stretches across the cosmos. One of the most profound discoveries in this field of cosmic music is the realization that the very birth and death of stars are part of the same rhythm. Stars are born in great clouds of gas and dust, on together by the force of gravity. As they collapse inward, they ignite, beginning the process of nuclear fusion that powers their light. But this light is fleeting, and eventually the stars burn out. Some stars end their lives in gentle swells, expanding into red giants before shedding their outer layers. Others, much more violent, explode in brilliant supernovae, sending shockwaves of energy and matter into the void. These explosive deaths create ripples in space-time, like the final notes of a symphony, loud and resonant, leaving an imprint on the very fabric of the universe. These stellar deaths are not to be mourned. Rather, they are part of a cycle that brings new life to the universe. The material ejected by dying stars forms new stars, new planets, and new possibilities. The very atoms that make up our bodies were once forged in the hearts of stars. We are, in a sense, stardust. The music of the stars, which began billions of years ago, continues to play on, its echoes reverberating through time. We are connected to that song in ways we cannot fully comprehend. The elements that form our bodies, the air we breathe, the water we drink, all of them have their origins in the stars. As we continue to listen to the cosmic symphony, we begin to understand that the stars are not merely distant objects in the night sky, but active participants in the grand play of the universe. They are alive with energy, vibrating with purpose, each one contributing its unique voice to the universal song. Their frequencies are the very essence of the universe, carrying with them the stories of creation, of destruction, and of renewal. Imagine the ancient light of a star that has traveled across millions of light years to reach your eyes. The photons you see today left that star in a time far beyond your own lifetime. Perhaps the star has long since burned out, or perhaps it still burns brightly, but the light you see is part of a story that began eons ago. In a sense, when you look at a star, you are not just seeing a point of light. You are glimpsing a message from the past, a message that has traveled across time and space to reach you. It is a message that, in some small way, connects you to the star, to the universe, to all that has ever existed. In many ways, this connection is more than just a scientific observation. It is a reminder that we are not isolated beings, but part of something much larger. The stars, in their silent song, are telling us that we are not alone, that we are part of a greater whole. We are woven into the very fabric of the universe, our lives a small but significant part of the grand symphony. When we gaze up at the stars, we are reminded of our place in the cosmos. We are reminded that, like the stars themselves, we too are part of an eternal cycle, a cycle that transcends time and space. It is easy to forget in the rush of everyday life that we are part of this grand and beautiful song. We become so focused on the tasks at hand, the challenges we face, the noise of the world around us, that we forget to listen to the quieter rhythms that surround us. But if we take a moment to stop, to listen, to look up at the night sky, we can hear the faintest of melodies. It is a song that has been playing since the dawn of time, and it will continue long after we are gone. The music of the stars reminds us of something deep and ancient within ourselves. It reminds us of the beauty and wonder that exists in the world, even in the smallest moments. And though we may never fully understand the complexity of the cosmic symphony, we are invited to listen, to open ourselves to the quiet rhythms that surround us, and to become a part of the song. Now imagine the stars slowly fading, one by one, their light dimming as they reach the end of their lifetimes. But even in their final moments, they leave behind a legacy of energy, of matter, of life. The music does not stop when the stars die. Instead, it transforms. The dying stars give birth to new generations of stars, planets, and life. The cosmic symphony continues, evolving and growing just as the universe itself does. And as we listen to the music of the stars, we are reminded that even in the face of death and destruction, there is always the possibility of renewal. The song of the stars never truly ends, it simply changes form, moving through time like a river that flows, never ceasing, always moving forward. As the story of the stars unfolds before us, we come to realize that their music is not just a grand spectacle played in the distant reaches of space. It is deeply woven into the very structure of our lives. Each pulse of light, each ripple in the fabric of space touches us in ways we may not fully understand. The stars sing not just to the universe, but to us, and in turn, we as a species are learning to listen. The cosmic music that emanates from the stars, the dance of light and vibration, is part of something much larger than ours. Elves, it is a constant reminder that the universe is not static. It is not a lifeless expanse of empty space, but a dynamic living system, a grand, ever-evolving orchestra with each part playing its role from the tiniest atom to the largest galaxy. And at the heart of this grand symphony are the stars. Their lifetimes are measured not just in years or centuries, but in eons. They are the eternal metronomes of the cosmos, keeping time with the rhythm of the universe. Yet for all their vastness and brilliance, stars are fragile beings. Their lives, while long, are finite. The same forces that give them life, gravity, heat, fusion, are also the forces that eventually bring them to their end. When we look at a star, we are not just seeing a point of light in the night sky. We are witnessing the life of a cosmic being, a being that has lived for millions or even billions of years. And when it dies, it leaves behind the legacy of its energy, its elements, and the music it created during its time. The death of a star is not an end, but a transformation. Just as a symphony does not die when the final note is played, the star's death is not the end of its song. Rather, it is a shift in the music, a moment of change that gives birth to something new. When a star explodes in a supernova, the energy released is so powerful that it can create new elements, which in turn become the building blocks for new stars, planets, and even life itself. These elements, formed in the crucible of the star's final moments, are scattered across the cosmos, where they can combine with other elements to form the next generation of stars. In this way, the music of the stars continues, each generation contributing to the next in an endless cycle of creation and renewal. In fact, we are all made of stardust. The very atoms that make up our bodies were once forged in the hearts of dying stars. The carbon in our bones, the iron in our blood, the oxygen we breathe, all of these elements were created in the intense heat of supernovae, scattered across the universe, and eventually gathered together to form planets like Earth. We are not just observers of the stars, we are part of their song. We are the echo of their music, the result of their energy, and the continuation of their legacy. As we stand beneath the stars, we are connected not just to the distant past, but to the distant future. The elements that make up our bodies will one day return to the cosmos, either in the form of new stars or through the endless cycle of planetary life. The stars are not just distant objects in the sky, they are the architects of our existence, the authors of our story, and the keepers of our future. But beyond the physical connection we share with the stars, there is a deeper, more profound relationship between us and these distant lights. For as long as humanity has existed, the stars have guided us. In ancient times, our ancestors used the stars to navigate across deserts and oceans, to mark the passage of time, and to tell stories of gods and heroes. The stars have always been with us, lighting our way through the darkness, offering a sense of direction and meaning. They were our first maps, our first guides, our first sources of inspiration. The music of the stars, even though silent to our ears, has always played a role in our understanding of the world and our place in it. In modern times, we have come to understand the stars in more scientific terms. We have built powerful telescopes and observatories to study them, and we have developed complex theories to explain their behavior. But even as we uncover the mysteries of the stars, we continue to feel their pull. The stars still inspire wonder in us. They still remind us of our place in the universe. They still fill us with a sense of awe and humility. The music of the stars is not just a scientific phenomenon, it is a spiritual one as well. It speaks to the deepest part of us, calling us to reflect on our own lives, on the fleeting nature of time, and on the vastness of the universe. Now imagine that you are lying on your back, gazing up at the night sky. The stars twinkle softly above you, their light faint but steady. There is no sound, only silence, but within that silence you can feel the presence of the stars. You can feel the music they are playing. It is not a melody you can hear with your ears, but one you can feel in your bones. It is the rhythm of the universe, the pulse of life itself. And as you lie there, you realize that you are part of that rhythm. You are part of the same cosmic dance that has been playing for billions of years. In this quiet moment, you are connected to everything. You are connected to the stars, to the galaxies, to the vastness of space. You are part of the same cosmic symphony that has existed since the dawn of time, and you will continue to be part of it long after you are gone. The stars, in their quiet song, are telling you something profound, something that words cannot fully capture. They are telling you that you are not alone, that you are part of something greater, something eternal. The music of the stars is not just a cosmic phenomenon, it is a reflection of life itself. Just as the stars are born, burn brightly, and then fade into the darkness, so too do we live our lives. Our own music, our own rhythm, is a part of the larger symphony of the universe. We are but a brief note in that grand composition, yet our note is important. It matters. It contributes to the harmony of the whole. And when our note fades, it gives way to another, just as the death of a star gives rise to new life. The music continues unbroken, an eternal song that plays on. And so, as we look up at the stars, we are reminded that we are part of something larger than ourselves. We are part of a cosmic dance, a song that has been playing since the beginning of time and will continue long after we are gone. The music of the stars is a reminder that we are all connected, that we are not separate from the universe, but a part of it. And as we listen to that music, we are invited to reflect on our own place in the grand symphony of life. Beneath the surface of your skin lies a secret world, a universe of hidden complexities and delicate balances, all working together to keep you alive. It is a place where life pulses, where cells dance in harmony, where intricate systems of communication and energy flow silently, without ever drawing attention to themselves. It is a world that we rarely think about, yet it sustains us in ways we can hardly comprehend. The skin, that simple outer layer of protection, is the barrier that separates us from the outside world, but it is also the gateway to a deeper reality. Beneath the surface, a symphony is playing, one that we are all part of whether we realize it or not. There are billions of tiny cells inside you, each one working tirelessly to carry out its role, from transporting oxygen to repairing damaged tissues. They work in concert, each one a musician in the grand orchestra of your body, contributing to the overall rhythm that keeps you moving, thinking, and living. But even more profound than the cells themselves are the signals they send to each other. Every second, your cells are talking to each other, passing along messages of survival, repair, and growth. These messages are sent through a language we cannot hear, but can measure through the marvels of modern science. Chemical signals, electrical impulses, and molecular exchanges create a dynamic system of communication that spans across your entire body. It is as though your body itself is an enormous, intricate city, with each cell functioning as a worker, a messenger, or a caretaker of its own tiny world. Imagine the billions of red blood cells, round and bouncy, flowing through your veins. Their job is to transport oxygen from your lungs to every cell in your body, and carbon dioxide back to your lungs for exhalation. Each red blood cell is like a tiny vessel floating down a river of plasma, moving with grace and precision. The blood flows, pumping through your veins and arteries with the help of your heart, which beats with a rhythm that is both steady and life-sustaining. Without the circulation of blood, the delicate web of life within your body would cease to exist. And then there are the white blood cells, the body's vigilant protectors. These tiny soldiers travel through your bloodstream, searching for invaders, viruses, bacteria, or any harmful substances that might disrupt the delicate balance of life. When they detect an intruder, they spring into action, attacking and neutralizing the threat. The white blood cells work tirelessly, defending your body from the countless dangers it faces every day, from the smallest germs to the most dangerous diseases. These cellular workers, though invisible to the naked eye, are the true heroes of your body. They perform their duties in silence, day in and day out, never tiring, never faltering. And all the while they work together in harmony, as if they know that they are part of something much larger than themselves. They are not just cells, they are the life force that keeps you alive, the unseen rhythm that drives the body forward. Now let us move deeper still. Beneath the blood vessels, the nerves twist and turn like delicate threads, connecting every part of your body. These nerves are the body's communication system, carrying messages from one end of your body to the other. The brain sends signals through these nerve fibers, directing the movements of your muscles, regulating your organs, and even allowing you to feel the touch of a loved one or the warmth of the sun. The communication between the brain and the body is a complex dance, a continuous flow of electrical impulses that keeps the body in motion. And it is not just the large nerves that carry messages. Smaller nerves found in your skin are constantly sending information about the outside world to your brain. When you feel the softness of a blanket or the sharpness of a pinprick, it is because of these tiny nerve endings. They are the messengers of sensation, allowing you to experience the world with a richness that is both extraordinary and vital. The nerves, like the red blood cells, are always at work, constantly feeding information into the brain to help you navigate the world around you. As we move deeper into this world beneath the skin, we find yet another layer of complexity, the immune system. This intricate defense network is responsible for identifying and eliminating harmful invaders, from pathogens to mutated cells. The immune system is like an invisible army that patrols your body, always on the lookout for anything that might threaten your well-being. It's a system that involves multiple organs, cells, and molecules, all working together to ensure that your body remains healthy and free from disease. When an infection takes hold, the immune system quickly mobilizes its forces. White blood cells race to the site of the infection, ready to engulf and destroy harmful microbes. The immune response is not instantaneous, but it is powerful, like a well-coordinated battle where every soldier knows their place. The immune system has a remarkable ability to remember past invaders, so if the same pathogen tries to invade again, it can respond more swiftly. This ability to remember is one of the reasons why we develop immunity after exposure to certain diseases or vaccinations. The most remarkable aspect of this hidden world beneath your skin is the constant state of renewal and repair. Your body is in a perpetual state of change, cells die and are replaced, tissues regenerate and wounds heal. Every minute, your body creates new cells to replace the old ones. This process, known as cellular turnover, is essential for maintaining health and function. When you cut yourself, for example, the cells in your skin work together to form a protective barrier, sealing the wound and preventing infection. Behind the scenes, the body is constantly repairing itself, regenerating tissue, and ensuring that everything is working as it should. But what is even more astounding is the way your body knows how to heal. It's as though there is a deep, intrinsic wisdom embedded within each cell. When there is a wound, the cells near the injury site send out signals to attract other cells that are capable of repairing the damage. Fibroblasts, the cells that produce collagen, begin to work their magic, forming a scaffold to support new tissue. Meanwhile, other cells are busy cleaning up the debris left behind by the injury. It's a quiet, unseen process that takes place without any conscious effort on our part, yet it is essential for our survival. In fact, this process of cellular regeneration is happening all the time, not just when we're injured. The cells in your body are constantly renewing themselves, ensuring that your organs and tissues remain healthy and functional. Your skin, for example, sheds millions of cells each day, constantly refreshing itself. The cells in your liver regenerate at an astonishing rate, allowing it to detoxify the body. Even your bones, which seem so solid and unchanging, are in a constant state of turnover, with new bone cells being created to replace the old ones. When we step back and consider the sheer complexity of this hidden world beneath our skin, we begin to appreciate the miraculous nature of life itself. The human body, with all its cells, tissues, and systems, is a masterpiece of engineering and design. It is a living organism that functions with precision and grace, operating in ways that we often take for granted. And yet, every breath we take, every movement we make, every thought we have is made possible by this intricate web of life that exists within us. As we journey deeper into this hidden world beneath your skin, we come face to face with the uncharted realm of your cells. Within your body, a delicate orchestra is playing, a symphony of molecules and processes that we often overlook in our daily lives. The skin, despite being our outermost layer, is merely the veil to this astonishing world of complex, unseen interactions. Every cell, every molecule, and every fiber within you is involved in this magnificent dance that ensures life moves forward in perfect harmony. At the core of it all are the building blocks, the cells. These microscopic wonders are the very foundation of life. The body is composed of trillions of them, each with its own role to play. Some cells build and repair tissues, others fight infections, and still others communicate with the brain, sending signals about touch, temperature, and pain. The cells of your body form a vast network, constantly in motion, never stopping for rest. When you think about it, the idea of a single, solitary cell might seem simplistic, almost insignificant, but when you look deeper, you begin to realize that each cell is a small universe unto itself. Each one is a tiny factory, capable of performing thousands of chemical reactions every second, all while interacting with the other cells around it. Imagine the bustling activity within each of these cells, like workers in a factory, molecules moving in and out, energy being produced and consumed, signals being sent, and new components being built, all while maintaining an ever-constant balance. Take, for example, the mitochondria, often referred to as the powerhouse of the cell. These organelles work tirelessly to produce energy in the form of adenosine triphosphate, ATP, which is used to fuel every activity in your body. Without the mitochondria, nothing would work, no movement, no thinking, no breathing. It's easy to overlook them, yet these microscopic powerhouses are the key to everything we do. They are the unsung heroes of our cellular machinery, and they keep us alive by converting nutrients into usable energy with remarkable efficiency. But beyond the physical functions of the cells, there's an even more wondrous aspect of this hidden world beneath your skin, its ability to adapt, to learn, and to heal. Your body's ability to repair itself is nothing short of miraculous. When you experience an injury or sickness, your body doesn't just respond passively, it actively fights back, bringing together a series of highly coordinated processes to repair the damage. A wound doesn't just close by itself. There is a deep cellular response that takes place, a coordinated effort that involves numerous cell types working in harmony. The first responders to a wound are the platelets in your blood. These tiny cell fragments rush to the site of injury, sticking together to form a clot that helps to stop the bleeding. But that's just the beginning. As the clot forms, white blood cells are sent to the area to clean up any damaged tissue and prevent infection. Meanwhile, fibroblasts, which are the cells that form connective tissue, begin to lay down new collagen to create a scaffold for the healing tissue. Over time, new skin cells are generated, filling in the wound and restoring the skin to its original state. This process of healing is guided by a complex series of signals that are sent between the cells. Each cell knows exactly what to do, when to do it, and how to interact with the cells around it. The beauty of this cellular choreography is that it is entirely automated. No conscious thought is needed. The cells simply know their roles and perform them perfectly, working together to restore balance to the body. But healing is not limited to physical injury alone. The body's ability to heal extends to the mind as well. Just as the body repairs its tissues, it also has mechanisms in place to repair emotional wounds. The nervous system, through the release of chemicals such as dopamine and serotonin, plays a vital role in maintaining emotional balance. These chemicals are the messengers of well-being, and their release is one of the ways your body ensures that you stay emotionally healthy. The body's response to stress and trauma is complex, but in many ways it mirrors the physical healing process. Just as a wound requires time to heal, so too does the mind need time to recover from emotional pain. In both cases, the body's cells work tirelessly to restore balance, to rebuild what has been damaged, and to move forward. But the healing process goes beyond injury or illness. Every day, your body is constantly renewing itself. Your cells are continuously regenerating, a process that is ongoing, though we rarely notice it. The skin, for instance, is constantly shedding dead cells and replacing them with fresh ones. In fact, the skin you see today is not the same skin you had a month ago. Every 28 days, the surface layer of your skin is entirely replaced with new cells. Your hair, too, is constantly growing, with follicles producing new strands while old ones shed. This process of renewal is essential to maintaining the body's integrity, and it happens seamlessly, without effort or awareness on your part. In the deeper layers of your body, similar processes are taking place. Your bones, for example, are not static structures. They are living tissues that constantly regenerate. Old bone cells are broken down and replaced by new ones in a continuous cycle that keeps your bones strong and resilient. The bones of your skeleton act as a living, evolving framework, adjusting and adapting to the stresses placed upon them. The healing of bones after fractures is a prime example of this dynamic process at work. When a bone is broken, the body responds by sending special cells to the area to produce new bone material, gradually bridging the gap and restoring the bone to its original form. The regeneration of cells and tissues is not limited to the visible parts of your body. Inside, your organs are constantly renewing and repairing themselves, too. The liver, for instance, is one of the most regenerative organs in the body. It has the remarkable ability to heal itself after injury, even if a portion of it is removed. Similarly, the cells in your digestive system are replaced every few days, ensuring that your body's ability to absorb nutrients and fight off harmful substances remains intact. This process of constant renewal is not just a physical phenomenon, it is also a metaphor for the way we experience life. Just as the cells in our body regenerate and renew, so too do we have the ability to heal, grow, and transform. Life is full of challenges and hardships, but just as the body has built-in mechanisms to restore itself, so too do we have the capacity to regenerate, to overcome adversity, and to emerge stronger than before. The intricate, self-sustaining world beneath your skin is a testament to the wonder of life itself. It's a hidden realm, full of complexity and mystery, yet it operates with a precision that is awe-inspiring. The more we learn about this world, the more we realize how interconnected and delicate the balance of life truly is. It is not just the physical workings of the body that amaze us. It is the deeper understanding that emerges when we recognize the beauty in every process, every cell, and every breath we take. To think about this hidden world is to think about the very essence of life itself. It is an orchestra of microscopic beings, each one playing its part, each one contributing to the overall harmony. It is a quiet, unseen symphony that plays out inside us every day, keeping us alive, keeping us whole, and reminding us that life, in all its complexity, is a miracle in itself. As we come to the final part of our journey into the hidden world beneath your skin, we start to understand that everything is connected in ways we can hardly grasp. The very systems that keep your body functioning, your circulatory system, your nervous system, your immune system, are more than just mechanical processes. They are the keepers of a deeper rhythm, a rhythm that resonates throughout your body and is linked to the very heartbeat of life itself. Your body's cells, though small and hidden from view, form a vast and intricate network, creating a unity that allows you to thrive and survive. This network, though invisible, is the backbone of all existence. The cells in your body communicate with one another, sending signals that guide your every action, thought, and feeling. Whether it is a sudden pain from a stubbed toe or the peaceful feeling you get from the soft touch of a loved one, these sensations are not just signals, they are part of a language. And this language is spoken not through words, but through the chemical and electrical signals that race through the body. This is the communication that binds your cells together, creating harmony and balance in a way that we are only just beginning to understand. Imagine for a moment the billions of signals racing through your nervous system at any given moment. It's like a series of conversations happening at once, a bustling network of information, always active, always working. When you reach for a glass of water, it is not just your arm that moves. It is a cascade of signals that travel from your brain to your muscles, telling them to contract, to release, to balance. Every movement, every breath, every thought is the result of a series of electrical impulses and chemical reactions that take place in a split second. The body, in all its complexity, is always in motion, always responding, always adapting. But it's not just the brain that is the master of this dance. Every organ in your body has its own rhythm, its own subtle music. The heart, beating steadily, sets the pace, driving the flow of blood and oxygen to every cell. The lungs expand and contract in perfect harmony with the rhythm of the heart, taking in the breath of life and releasing what is no longer needed. The digestive system, in its own quiet way, is constantly at work, breaking down the food you consume into the building blocks that fuel your body. Every organ, every system contributes to the greater whole, each one keeping time with the rest, creating a delicate balance that is essential for survival. And in the deepest corners of your body, in the spaces that you can never see, there are processes happening that are just as intricate and beautiful. Your DNA, the very blueprint of your being, contains the instructions for every part of you, from the color of your eyes to the shape of your bones. Every cell in your body carries a copy of this DNA, and each one reads and interprets it to carry out its own role. But the DNA itself is not static. It is constantly adapting, evolving, responding to the environment, to the things that happen to you. It is a living document, one that carries the history of your past, the present moment, and the potential of your future. What is truly remarkable is how these processes occur without our conscious awareness. The body is a self-regulating system, capable of maintaining its internal balance even as it faces countless challenges from the outside world. When you are sick, for instance, your immune system doesn't need to ask for help. It knows what to do. The white blood cells spring into action, neutralizing invaders and repairing damage. When you are stressed, your body releases hormones like cortisol, which help you respond to the challenge at hand. When you sleep, your body goes into a mode of restoration, repairing damaged cells, building new tissue, and replenishing your energy stores. This self-sufficiency is in many ways a marvel of nature. The body doesn't need a manager or a controller. It operates on its own in harmony with the millions of cells that make it up. And it is not just the mechanical processes that are fascinating. It is the incredible wisdom embedded within every cell, tissue, and organ. The body knows how to heal itself, how to adapt, how to respond to the changing rhythms of life. Yet even as the body works tirelessly to keep you alive, it is not invincible. The hidden world beneath your skin is not immune to the forces of time. Like everything in life, the body ages, and with aging comes change. The cells that once regenerated with youthful vigor begin to slow down. The skin becomes less elastic, the bones become more brittle, and the organs become less efficient. It is a natural process, one that happens to all living things, but it is also a reminder of the fragility of life. But even in the face of aging, the body continues to adapt. It has an incredible capacity for resilience, for finding new ways to compensate for the changes that occur. The skin may wrinkle, but it also becomes wiser, more attuned to the world around it. The bones may become thinner, but they are still capable of supporting the body, still able to move and carry you through life. The body, even as it ages, continues to sing its song, albeit in a slightly different key. It may not be as fast, as strong, or as perfect as it once was, but it is still a symphony, still alive with the rhythms of life. The world beneath your skin is a testament to the beauty and complexity of life itself. It is a reminder that we are more than just our outward appearance, more than the sum of our parts. We are a living, breathing orchestra made up of countless instruments, each one playing its part to create the harmony that is life. Every breath you take, every movement you make, every thought you have is a part of this grand symphony. The world beneath your skin is the silent music of existence, playing out in perfect harmony. And perhaps as we contemplate this hidden world, we come to understand something profound. We are not separate from the universe, we are part of it. Just as the stars sing their silent song across the cosmos, so too do we sing our song beneath our skin. The rhythm of our bodies, the dance of our cells, is part of the larger rhythm of life itself. We are connected to the universe in ways that are beyond our comprehension, but we can feel it. Every time our heart beats, every time we breathe, every time we move, we are not alone. We are part of something greater, something eternal. As we learn more about this hidden world beneath our skin, we are reminded of the incredible mystery and beauty of life. There is so much we don't know, so much we can't see, but in the quiet workings of our bodies, in the rhythms of our cells, there is a wisdom that transcends our understanding. It is a reminder that life, in all its complexity, is a miracle in itself. And though we may never fully comprehend the workings of our bodies, we can still marvel at the beauty of it all, the music, the dance, the delicate balance that sustains us, moment by moment, day by day. So the next time you pause for a moment to listen to the quiet rhythm of your breath, or to feel the pulse of your heartbeat, remember that you are part of something much larger than yourself. You are part of a symphony that has been playing for millions of years, a song that will continue long after you are gone. The hidden world beneath your skin is not just a place of cells and molecules. It is a place of life, of connection, of mystery. And in that world, we are all players, contributing our own unique notes to the grand, eternal composition. Imagine for a moment walking through a forest. The air is cool, heavy with the scent of earth, damp leaves, and the faint, sweet aroma of pine. The trees stand tall, their branches reaching toward the sky as if they are trying to touch the clouds. The sunlight filters through the canopy, casting patches of warmth on the forest floor where the ground is thick with moss and fallen leaves. The gentle rustling of the leaves fills the air, a soft, continuous whisper that speaks in a language older than time. The trees, though rooted in silence, are alive with stories. It is easy to forget in our busy lives that they are not just silent witnesses to time passing. They are communicators, storytellers, and keepers of ancient wisdom. Beneath the peaceful stillness of the forest, beneath the gentle sway of the branches, a rich and complex web of interactions is unfolding. The trees do not simply exist in isolation. They are part of an intricate network of life where every leaf, every root, every trunk is connected to everything around it. This silent network of life communicates in a language that is not spoken, but felt, a language of movement, energy, and connection. The story of the trees is one of quiet resilience. They have been standing for centuries, weathering storms, enduring seasons of drought, surviving the passage of time. They are witnesses to the changing world, standing tall as emblems of endurance and strength. But their strength is not just physical. It is a strength that comes from their deep connection to the earth, to the very soil in which they are rooted. It is this connection that allows the trees to survive, to thrive, and to live for such long periods. The roots that stretch deep into the ground are not just anchors, but also channels of communication, through which the trees exchange information with the soil, the water, and even other trees. Have you ever wondered how trees communicate with each other? It's a quiet and subtle exchange, one that takes place beneath the surface of the soil. Trees are not solitary beings standing alone in the forest. They are part of a community that stretches across miles of forest, linking one tree to another in an invisible network. This network is known as the Wood Wide Web. Just as the internet connects people across the globe, the Wood Wide Web connects trees through their roots and through a network of fungi called mycorrhizae. These fungi act as messengers, transmitting signals between trees, allowing them to share resources, send warnings about pests, and even help one another in times of need. In a way, the trees are always talking to each other, sending messages across vast distances without ever making a sound. When one tree is under attack by insects, for example, it releases chemicals that travel through the air, alerting nearby trees to the danger. These neighboring trees, in turn, can activate their own defenses, producing chemicals that make their leaves taste bitter to the insects. This network of communication ensures the survival of the forest, as trees work together to protect one another from harm. But the communication of trees is not limited to just survival. It is a communication of life, of sharing resources, of nurturing the community. The roots of trees are not just for anchorage, but for sharing sustenance. Through their roots, trees pass nutrients to one another, ensuring that weaker trees or younger saplings have enough to grow. It's a quiet, generous exchange that often goes unnoticed, but it's essential to the health of the forest. In this way, the trees are not just individual organisms. They are part of a collective, living system, working together to ensure the vitality of the whole. This interconnectedness extends beyond the trees themselves. The forest as a whole is a living, breathing entity, one that is constantly in motion, constantly shifting and adapting to the ever-changing environment. The forest floor is teeming with life, fungi, insects, small mammals, all of which play their own roles in this complex ecosystem. The trees, through their roots and branches, interact with this web of life, supporting one another in ways that we are only beginning to understand. But even as the trees communicate and support each other, they also bear witness to the passage of time. Over the years, they accumulate layers of history in the form of rings in their trunks. These rings, visible in a cross-section of the tree, tell the story of the tree's life. They show the seasons that the tree has weathered, the years of growth, and the times of hardship. A tree's rings are a record of its experience, a silent journal that holds the wisdom of the years. Some rings are wide, indicating years of abundant growth, while others are narrow, reflecting periods of drought or stress. But through it all, the tree continues to grow, continues to reach toward the sky, continuing the cycle of life. As you walk through the forest, you may come across a tree that has fallen, its trunk lying in a bed of moss and leaves. It is easy to think of this as an end, a death, a conclusion to the tree's journey. But in the world of trees, death is not an end, but a transformation. When a tree falls, it becomes part of the forest cycle. Its decaying wood nourishes the soil, providing nutrients for new life to grow. The tree's remains are not wasted, but are repurposed to support future generations. It is a reminder that in nature, nothing is wasted. Everything has a purpose, a place in the grand design. The fallen tree also serves as a home to countless organisms, fungus and moss. Take root in the decaying wood, insects burrow into the bark, and small creatures find shelter in the hollow trunk. Even in death, the tree continues to give, continuing its role as a vital part of the forest ecosystem. It is a quiet, gentle reminder of the interconnectedness of life, of the way that death and life flow together, like the seasons of the year. And as you stand in the forest, surrounded by these ancient sentinels, you realize that the trees are not just silent observers of time. They are active participants in the world around them, communicating, sharing, and growing together. They are living histories, bearing witness to the passage of centuries, while at the same time contributing to the world around them in profound, subtle ways. What is most remarkable about the trees, however, is their ability to teach us about patience. In a world that often values speed, efficiency, and immediate results, the trees remind us of the beauty of slow, steady growth. A tree does not rush. It grows at its own pace, each ring a testament to the passage of time. It teaches us that growth takes time, that patience and perseverance are essential to living fully. The tree does not hurry to reach the sky. It simply grows, trusting in the process, trusting that, in time, it will become what it is meant to be. The whisper of the trees, that soft rustling of leaves, is not just the sound of wind moving through branches. It is the sound of life, of connection, of wisdom passed down through generations. It is the language of the forest, a language we are just beginning to understand. And as we listen to that whisper, we are reminded that we, too, are part of this great web of life. Like the trees, we are connected to one another, to the earth, to the universe. We are part of a larger, ever-evolving story, a story that stretches far beyond our understanding, yet is woven through with the same timeless rhythms of growth, change, and renewal. The next time you find yourself walking in a forest, take a moment to pause and listen. The trees have stories to tell, stories that span centuries, stories that have been whispered through the leaves, through the roots, and through the wind. These stories are not just for the trees, they are for us too. They are reminders of the interconnectedness of all things, of the delicate balance that sustains life, and of the wisdom that exists in the quiet moments. The whisper of the trees is a call to slow down, to listen, and to connect with the world around us. Imagine the moment just before dawn, when the world is still cloaked in darkness, and the only sounds are the soft rustling of leaves and the distant calls of night creatures. Then slowly, the first rays of light begin to creep over the horizon, casting a soft glow over the world. This is the moment when light first touches the earth, when the sun begins to awaken and with it life stirs. It is a moment of renewal, a moment of transformation, as darkness gives way to the vibrant colors of day. Light, though we often take it for granted, is one of the most profound forces in the universe. It is the energy that sustains life, the essence that allows us to see the world around us. Without light, there would be no color, no form, no life. Light is the brushstroke that paints the world, the force that animates the stillness of night and brings it to life. It is through light that we experience the beauty of nature, the warmth of the sun, and the mysteries of the cosmos. But light is more than just a physical phenomenon. It is also a memory, a carrier of time, a link between the past, present, and future. Every photon of light that touches our skin, every ray that illuminates the night, carries with it a history, a story of where it has been, of the journey it has taken across space and time. Light, in a sense, is a messenger from the past, a bridge that connects us to the distant stars, the ancient sun, and the distant reaches of the universe. When we look up at the stars, we are not just seeing points of light. We are seeing the echoes of ancient histories, the remnants of light that left distant stars millions of years ago. The light that reaches us from a star has traveled across vast stretches of space, carrying with it the memory of the star's birth, its life, and its death. The light we see today from the nearest star, Proxima Centauri, for example, left that star over 4 years ago. Yet when we look at it, we are seeing a moment frozen in time. The photons that traveled through the vast emptiness of space are not just particles of energy. They are messengers, carrying the history of the universe itself. And this journey of light is not limited to the stars. When the sunlight hits the earth, it travels through the atmosphere, passing through clouds, dust, and molecules. Each photon interacts with the air, bending and scattering before finally reaching the surface. In this way, light carries with it the story of its passage through the atmosphere, the story of the conditions that shape it, the story of the earth itself. The sunlight that reaches us is not just a simple, unchanging force. It is a complex interaction between the sun, the atmosphere, and the surface of the earth, a dance of energy that is constantly shifting, changing, and evolving. But light is not just a passive observer of the world. It is an active participant, shaping the way we perceive reality. The colors we see, the shadows that fall, the warmth we feel on our skin, these are all products of light's interaction with the world around us. When we look at a flower, for example, we are not just seeing the flower itself. We are seeing the way the light interacts with the petals, the way it reflects off the surface and absorbs into the color. The colors we perceive are not inherent to the object. They are the result of the wavelengths of light that are reflected back to our eyes. In a sense, the world we see is a product of light's memory, a memory of how it has traveled through space, how it has been altered, how it has touched and shaped the world around us. Light also carries with it the memory of the sun itself, the ancient energy that has been shining down on the earth for billions of years. The light that we see today is not the same light that existed when the earth first formed. It has traveled through space for eons, gathering energy, passing through countless cycles of creation and destruction. The sun, in its infinite brilliance, is not just a distant ball of fire. It is a vital source of energy, a force that shapes the earth and all that lives upon it. The light that shines today is the result of billions of years of evolution, a story that is written in the very energy that fuels our planet. The memory of light extends beyond our immediate environment and touches the very fabric of the universe itself. In a sense, the entire universe is bathed in the light of the past. When we look at the cosmic background radiation, for example, we are not just seeing a faint glow from distant stars. We are seeing the afterglow of the Big Bang itself. This radiation, which fills the universe, is the oldest light we can observe, a remnant of the moment when the universe was born. It is a reminder of the beginnings of everything, a memory of the creation of space, time, and energy. Even the natural world is shaped by the memory of light. Plants, for example, rely on light to grow and thrive. Through the process of photosynthesis, plants capture light energy from the sun, using it to convert carbon dioxide into oxygen and sugar. In a sense, light is the very foundation of life on Earth. The energy that powers the planet, that fuels the growth of plants and animals, is the same energy that has been shining down on the earth for billions of years. The light that touches the leaves of a tree carries with it the memory of the sun, of the earth, and of the cycles of life. As we continue to explore the journey of light, we begin to understand that it is not just a force, but a story, an ongoing narrative that links the past to the present and the future. The light we see today is a continuation of the light that has been traveling across the universe for eons. It is a story that spans the entirety of existence, from the first moment of creation to the present day. The light that touches us now is not just a fleeting moment. It is the culmination of all that has come before. It is the memory of the universe, carried on the waves of energy that flow through space. This memory of light, this journey through space and time, is something we are all connected to. When we gaze at the stars, when we feel the warmth of the sun on our skin, we are not just witnessing isolated moments of energy, we are witnessing the story of the universe itself. Light is the thread that connects us to the past, to the distant stars, and to the future. It is a reminder that despite the vastness of the cosmos, we are all part of the same story, connected by the same light. As you stand in the warmth of the sunlight or gaze up at the stars on a clear night, think about the journey that light has taken to reach you. Every photon that touches your skin has traveled across vast distances through time and space to reach you. It carries with it the memory of the stars, of the sun, and of the universe itself. And as you feel its warmth, as you see its glow, you are reminded of the eternal cycle of life, of the timeless dance of light that has been unfolding for billions of years. As we continue our journey through the vast landscape of light, we come to a realization that light is not only the force that illuminates the world, but also the very thing that keeps our universe moving. We see it as a simple, essential part of our everyday lives, yet it is so much more. Light is an energy, a messenger, a time traveler, carrying with it the stories of stars, galaxies, and the very beginning of time itself. Through the lens of light, we peer into the past, the future, and the present, connecting the dots of existence in ways that our minds can hardly comprehend. The more we examine light, the more we discover its astonishing properties. Light travels in waves, moving through the vast emptiness of space at the mind-boggling speed of 186,282 miles per second. This means that light from the sun takes approximately 8 minutes and 20 seconds to reach Earth. During that brief journey, the light crosses the immense expanse of space, traveling through the atmosphere, bouncing off clouds, filtering through dust particles, and finally reaching the surface. This tiny slice of time, the time it takes for the light to travel from the sun to Earth, holds the entire history of the universe within it. The sunlight that reaches us today is not simply the sunlight that was emitted by the sun this morning. It is a reminder of the sun's age, its history, and the countless moments that have passed since it began shining. Each beam of sunlight is a product of nuclear reactions taking place in the core of the sun, a star that has been burning for over 4.5 billion years. The sun's light is born from the fusion of hydrogen atoms, which releases an immense amount of energy in the form of photons. These photons journey from the sun's core, passing through its outer layers before escaping into space, eventually finding their way to Earth, carrying with them the heat and light that sustain life on our planet. The history of light stretches far beyond the sun. Every photon that reaches us is a remnant of a much larger story, one that spans across the entire universe. When we gaze up at the stars, we are not just looking at distant points of light. We are looking at the light that has traveled across time and space, carrying with it the stories of galaxies, supernovae, and black holes. The light from a star can take millions or even billions of years to reach us, meaning that when we observe the stars, we are not seeing them as they are in the present moment, but as they were long ago. We are looking into the past, at the remnants of light that have traveled across the vast distances of space, revealing the history of the universe itself. This phenomenon is one of the most profound aspects of light, the way it allows us to look back in time. When we observe the cosmic background radiation, for example, we are witnessing the afterglow of the Big Bang itself, the moment when the universe began. This radiation, which fills the entire universe, is the oldest light we can detect, and it provides a snapshot of the universe as it was just 380,000 years after the Big Bang. In a sense, light is a time machine, allowing us to peer into the distant past and gain insights into the origins of the universe. The journey of light through space is not a smooth, uninterrupted path. It is subject to the forces of gravity, which bend and distort its trajectory. This bending of light is known as gravitational lensing, and it occurs when light passes near a massive object, such as a galaxy or a black hole. The gravitational field of these objects warps the fabric of space-time, causing the light to bend around them. This effect allows us to observe distant objects that would otherwise be hidden from view, and it provides crucial insights into the nature of the universe. Gravitational lensing is one of the ways that light reveals hidden truths about the cosmos, offering us a glimpse of the universe that we could not otherwise see. Light, then, is not simply a passive observer of the universe. It is an active participant, interacting with the forces that shape space and time. The light from distant stars, galaxies, and nebulae carries with it not only information about their origins, but also the story of how they have interacted with the fabric of the universe. This interaction shapes the light, altering its path, its color, and its intensity, providing us with a richer understanding of the cosmos. Through the study of light, we learn about the hidden forces that govern the universe, the invisible threads that connect everything, from the tiniest particles to the largest structures. But the story of light is not just one of cosmic scale, it is also a deeply personal one. Light, in all its forms, touches our lives in ways that we may not always recognize. We experience the world through the lens of light, from the first light of dawn to the soft glow of the moon at night. Our senses are attuned to light in ways that are fundamental to our experience of the world. When we look at a beautiful sunset, for example, we are not just seeing colors, we are experiencing the emotional resonance of light, the way it shifts and changes, evoking feelings of calm, wonder, or nostalgia. Light is not just a physical phenomenon, It is a key to our emotions, our memories, and our perceptions of the world around us. Light also plays a crucial role in shaping the rhythms of life, the cycle of day and night, the changing seasons, the rise and fall of the sun. These are all governed by the movement of light. The sunlight that reaches us in the morning awakens the world, signaling the start of a new day. As the day progresses, the light changes, shifting from the cool blue of morning to the warm, golden tones of afternoon. And when the sun sets, the light fades, giving way to the quiet darkness of night. This cycle of light and darkness governs not only the natural world, but our own biological rhythms. The light we receive from the sun helps regulate our sleep-wake cycles, influencing the production of hormones like melatonin and cortisol that control our energy levels and mood. But light's role in shaping life goes beyond the biological. It is also a symbol of hope, of understanding, of clarity. Light is often used as a metaphor for knowledge, for revelation, for enlightenment. In many cultures, light is associated with the divine, with truth, and with the transcendent. It is through light that we find our way in the world, both literally and metaphorically. Light illuminates the path ahead, guiding us through the darkness, showing us what is hidden, and revealing the beauty that surrounds us. As we explore the nature of light, we begin to understand that it is not just a simple force. It is a messenger from the past, a carrier of memories, a bridge between the present and the distant reaches of the universe. Light allows us to see the world, but it also allows us to understand the universe itself. It is a link between us and the cosmos, a reminder that we are part of something much larger, something older, and something far more mysterious than we could ever imagine. In the end, the memory of light is a reminder of the interconnectedness of everything, the way all things, living and non-living, near and far, are bound together by this ethereal force. The light we see today is not just the light of today. It is the accumulated light of everything that has ever been, traveling across space and time, connecting us to the past, to the stars, and to the heart of the universe itself. Each photon, each beam of light carries with it the memory of everything it has touched, everything it has seen, everything it has passed through. And as we look at the light, we are looking into the vastness of existence, seeing the universe not just as it is now, but as it has always been. As we continue to unravel the story of light, we come to a profound realization. Light, in all its forms, is more than just an observable phenomenon. It is, in fact, a storyteller, a carrier of memories and histories. The light we see around us is not merely an immediate effect, but a vast reservoir of accumulated moments, carrying with it the echoes of everything it has encountered. Just as sound carries the vibrations of its origin, light carries the imprint of the events it has passed through, the stars it has touched, and the spaces it has traversed. Each photon of light that reaches us is a memory, one that spans time, space, and the very fabric of the universe. When we look at the world around us, we are not just seeing a reflection of the present moment. We are seeing a history that stretches back billions of years. Each moment, every ray of light is the culmination of countless cosmic events, of stars being born and dying, of galaxies colliding, of supernovae exploding. And in a way, these events are all captured in the light that reaches us. Light is the lens through which we view the universe, not just as it is now, but as it has been over the course of eons. When we look at the stars, we are peering into the past, into the very heart of time itself. The memory of light allows us to witness the passage of time in a way that no other force in the universe can. Imagine for a moment the light from the farthest reaches of the cosmos, traveling across space for billions of years before it finally reaches our eyes. The light that we see from distant galaxies today is not the light that was emitted at the moment the galaxy was formed. No, it is the light that has journeyed across the vast emptiness of space, carrying with it the story of that galaxy's past. When we look at a distant star, we are not simply observing its present state. We are looking at the light that was emitted from that star millions or even billions of years ago. We are seeing the star as it was, not as it is. In this way, light is a time capsule, preserving the past in every photon, capturing moments in time that would otherwise be lost to us. The memory of light also extends into the very fabric of our own existence. Just as light carries the history of the universe, it carries the history of the Earth itself. When sunlight hits the Earth, it interacts with the atmosphere, the oceans, and the land, creating a dynamic, ever-changing tapestry of color and energy. But beyond the simple act of illumination, light also shapes the environment. It is light that drives the photosynthesis of plants, the process by which they convert sunlight into energy, fueling the very foundation of life on Earth. The plants that surround us are living, breathing entities that capture the energy of the sun and transform it into the food we eat, the oxygen we breathe, and the beauty we enjoy. Through the memory of light, we also witness the passage of seasons, the changing rhythms of life, the shifting quality of light from dawn to dusk, from winter to spring, from summer to autumn. These subtle changes in light mark the rhythms of nature. Each season, each moment, is a subtle shift in the balance of light and darkness. As the Earth orbits the sun, the angle at which light strikes the planet changes, and with it, the temperature, the colors, the moods. This ongoing cycle of light and dark is not merely a physical process. It is a pattern that resonates deep within us. It influences our behavior, our emotions, and even our biology. The memory of light, in this sense, is a way of measuring the passage of time, of understanding the cycles of life, of seeing the constant dance between light and shadow. But the memory of light is not limited to the Earth alone. It extends to the very cosmos, to the distant stars and galaxies that have shaped the universe as we know it. The light from a star carries within it the signature of that star's life, its birth, its evolution, and its eventual death. Some stars burn brightly for millions of years, while others burn for only a few short days. But each star's light is a record of its journey, a record that is preserved in the photons that travel across the vastness of space. When we observe the light from a star, we are not just seeing the star's present state, we are seeing its past, its history, and its legacy. This legacy of light is particularly poignant when we consider the life cycle of a star. Stars are born from vast clouds of gas and dust, and over millions of years they go through a process of nuclear fusion, turning hydrogen into helium and releasing immense amounts of energy. This energy manifests as light, the light that illuminates the cosmos. But eventually, every star reaches the end of its life. Some stars explode in brilliant supernovae, scattering their material across space and creating new elements that will form the building blocks of future stars, planets, and even life. Other stars slowly burn out, fading away into the darkness. But even in death, a star's memory lives on. The light that was emitted during its life travels on, carrying with it the legacy of that star's existence. One of the most fascinating aspects of the memory of light is the way it can be used to unlock the secrets of the past. Through the study of light, scientists have been able to peer into the distant past, into the very beginning of the universe itself. The light that was emitted just after the Big Bang, known as the cosmic microwave background radiation, is a faint echo of the moment when the universe began. By studying this light, scientists have been able to gain insights into the origins of the universe, the forces that shaped it, and the way it has evolved over billions of years. In a sense, the memory of light is a key to understanding the fundamental nature of the cosmos. But even beyond the scientific revelations, the memory of light holds a deeper, more poetic significance. Light is the bridge between the past and the present, between what was and what is. It is a reminder that we are all connected to the universe in ways we can hardly comprehend. The light that reaches us from the stars, from the sun, from the moon, is not just a physical force. It is a connection to the history of the universe, to the story of creation itself. Every moment of light we experience is a part of that larger story, a story that began long before we were born and will continue long after we are gone. In our everyday lives, we often take light for granted. We flip a switch and the room is filled with brightness. We step outside and the warmth of the sun embraces us. But the light we experience is so much more than the illumination of our surroundings. It is a living, breathing memory that connects us to the cosmos, to the past, and to the future. It is a reminder that we are part of something much larger than ourselves, something eternal and vast. When we look at the light, we are not just seeing the world as it is today. We are seeing the universe as it has always been, a universe in constant motion, a universe that is alive with history, with energy, with stories. And as we contemplate the memory of light, we come to understand something profound. The light we see today is not just a fleeting moment. It is a continuation of all that has come before, a thread that connects us to the beginning of time and to the endless future. Light is both a memory and a promise that no matter where we are, no matter how far we travel, we are always connected to the universe. As connected to the stars, always connected to the eternal dance of light. In the early hours of morning, before the world stirs, the air is alive with the soft murmur of the world's most ancient song, the language of birds. This language, woven into the very fabric of nature, is a conversation between creatures whose voices we may hear but whose meanings we cannot fully understand. It is a language of song, of call, of chirp, of whistle, a language that bridges the gap between species, one that transcends barriers, that connects life in ways that we as humans have long marveled at. For most of us, bird songs are a sweet, peaceful backdrop to the start of the day. But to the birds themselves, these calls and melodies are much more than mere noise. They are vital forms of communication, packed with meaning and purpose, designed to convey everything from danger to courtship to territory. The air is filled with messages, carried on the wind, each note a reflection of the bird's world. From the gentle trill of a sparrow to the majestic call of an eagle, each bird species has its own unique way of speaking. These voices, when understood, reveal a deeper connection between nature and the world around us, one that we too are part of. Birdsong is a tool as ancient and refined as the birds themselves. In its simplest form, it is a means of survival. Birds sing to establish their territory, warding off intruders and signaling to others that a certain space is already claimed. The male birds, eager to impress, will often raise their voices in the hopes of attracting a mate. These songs serve as an advertisement of their vitality, strength, and fitness. They are not just noises, but messages encoded in the trill of the melody, the complexity of the tune, and the volume of the call. A bird's song is a map of its physical health, its prowess in flight, and its ability to survive. But the language of birds is not only functional, it is also deeply beautiful, a celebration of life. Birdsong is intricately linked to the seasons. It fills the early mornings of spring with joy and energy, bringing life to the dawn and encouraging new growth. The rhythm of the bird's call seems to echo the changing patterns of nature itself, rising with the warmth of the sun, dipping with the cooling of the day, and finally fading with the arrival of night. These songs are the soundtrack to the eternal cycle of the seasons, a constant, comforting reminder that life continues in its grand, slow, beautiful march forward. The language of birds also reveals something deeper, something almost poetic. Their songs are often a reflection of the environment in which they live. The warble of a wren, the complex phrases of a nightingale, the calls of a crow, all of these sounds are shaped by the bird's habitat, by the trees and skies that surround them, and by the needs of the moment. A bird's song is both personal and communal, as it serves the individual bird's needs but also serves to unite the species, reinforcing connections between individuals of the same flock, tribe, or family. The calls of birds can alert the flock to danger or to the arrival of food, helping to coordinate complex behaviors that ensure survival. It's a language that transcends the self, calling upon the unity of the group. For us as humans, understanding bird calls is often limited. We may not be able to grasp the full scope of their language, but we can still hear its beauty and its meaning. Birds may not speak in words as we do, but their songs are still a form of expression. The simple joy of hearing a bird's trill can lift our spirits, making us feel connected to something larger than ourselves. In a way, birds remind us of the beauty of communication in all its forms, the way life speaks, not just through words, but through gestures, sounds, and moments of connection. Yet as we try to understand the language of birds, we begin to realize that their communication is not just about sounds. It's about the way birds move, the way they interact with their environment. The flight of a bird is its own language, a dance of air and feathers that speaks of freedom, of grace, of survival. The way a bird flaps its wings, the way it dives or soars, the way it lands, each of these actions speaks volumes. The bird's flight patterns, their migratory paths, and their seasonal movements are all a form of communication. They are sharing their stories through the skies, using the wind as their canvas, painting messages that are understood across continents. The study of bird communication, ornithology, has revealed a wealth of information about the complexity of their language. Scientists have discovered that birds possess a much more intricate language than was previously understood. For instance, certain species of birds, such as crows and ravens, have been shown to use specific calls to communicate detailed information about food sources, predators, and threats. These calls are not random, but carefully chosen to convey precise messages, demonstrating that bird language is not just an instinctual cry, but a sophisticated, complex form of communication. The vocalizations of birds are also tied to their cognitive abilities. Birds like parrots and magpies are capable of mimicking human speech, not just repeating sounds but seemingly understanding their context. The mimicry itself is an art form, a dance of sound that speaks to a bird's intelligence and its capacity for connection. The way parrots can repeat words or songs, seemingly at will, highlights the deep link between communication and intelligence. In these birds, the ability to mimic is not just a form of flattery or amusement. It is a powerful tool for connecting with the world around them. And yet the depth of the bird's language is often lost on us. Their songs, while beautiful, are so intricately woven into the rhythms of nature that we can fail to appreciate them fully. We hear the birds call, but do we understand the intention behind it? Do we recognize the stories embedded in each note, each trill, each chirp? To truly understand the language of birds is to tune into the world around us in a deeper way. It is to listen to the subtle changes in their calls, to understand the environmental cues that guide their communication, and to recognize the poetry in their movements. Birds speak to us not just with their songs, but through their very existence. Their language is woven into the fabric of nature itself, connected to the earth, the air, and the sky. Every flutter of a wing, every shift in their calls tells a story of the world around them. It speaks of survival, of connection, of joy, of struggle, and of the eternal dance of life. The birds may be small, but their language is vast, a language that speaks not only to the creatures of the sky, but to all of us who are willing to listen. As we stand beneath the canopy of trees or walk through fields and meadows, we are surrounded by a chorus of voices. The birds are singing not just for themselves, but for us too. They are part of the living, breathing world that we share, reminding us that we are connected to something much larger than ourselves. Their songs are not just music, they are a form of communication, a message from one creature to another, a link in the chain of life that binds us all together. In the end, the language of birds is not just a collection of sounds or signals. It is a living, evolving testament to the beauty and complexity of life itself. It is a reminder that communication is not limited to words. It is found in every sound, every movement, every gesture, and every connection. The birds teach us that we are all part of a larger conversation, one that transcends species, one that speaks through the skies, the wind, and the earth. The language of birds is a reminder that life, in all its forms, is always speaking to us. The only question is, are we listening? Beneath our feet, the earth is alive with rhythm, with a pulse that beats with the slow, steady rhythm of time itself. It is a pulse that we often overlook, buried as it is beneath layers of soil, rock, and the fast pace of our daily lives. But if we were to stop to listen more closely, we might begin to hear it. The earth has a heartbeat, a deep, resonating thrum that echoes through the soil, through the oceans, through the very air we breathe. It is the pulse of the planet, the rhythm of life itself. The earth's pulse is not the same as the beat of a human heart, yet it is just as vital. It is the movement of tectonic plates beneath the surface, the shifting of mountains, the rise and fall of the oceans. It is the rhythm of the seasons, the gentle ebb and flow of the tides, and the turning of the planet as it spins on its axis. It is the way the Earth responds to the sun, to the moon, and to the energy that flows through the universe. The pulse of the Earth is the song of creation, the hum of the planet as it spins through space, carrying life along with it. At the very core of the Earth, deep beneath the surface, lies the source of this pulse. The Earth's core is a furnace of heat and pressure, a molten center that drives much of the planet's activity. The movement of this molten rock creates the tectonic forces that shape the continents, forming mountains and valleys and causing earthquakes and volcanic eruptions. These events are not random. They are part of the Earth's natural rhythm, a rhythm that has been playing for millions of years, long before humans ever walked upon the planet. The tectonic plates that move beneath our feet are like the drumbeats of the Earth's heartbeat. They shift and grind against one another, causing the surface to tremble and crack, sometimes with great force. These shifts can be violent, but they are also part of the Earth's natural process of renewal. When the Earth's crust shifts, new land is formed and the old land is recycled. It is a continuous process of creating on and destruction, one that has shaped the planet over billions of years. The Earth's pulse is not just a metaphor, it is a physical reality, a force that drives the planet's evolution. Above the Earth's surface, the rhythm of life continues. The atmosphere, like a drumhead stretched across the planet, carries the pulse of the Earth's energy into the skies. The weather patterns, the winds, the clouds, they are all part of the Earth's living rhythm. The movement of air and water around the planet is a dance of energy, one that regulates the temperature, creates climates, and sustains life. The winds carry the energy of the sun, distributing it across the Earth's surface, while the oceans act as vast reservoirs, storing heat and moisture. These movements, from the smallest breeze to the most powerful storm, are all part of the pulse of the Earth, each one contributing to the dynamic system that sustains life on the planet. But the pulse of the Earth is not just the movement of rocks and water. It is also the way life itself responds to the rhythms of the planet. Every living thing on Earth, from the smallest microbe to the largest mammal, is connected to this pulse. The seasons, the cycles of day and night, the ebb and flow of the tides, all of these are part of the rhythm of life. The Earth's pulse sets the tempo for all living creatures, guiding their behaviors, their movements, and their survival. The plants that grow in response to the changing seasons, the animals that migrate in sync with the climate, they are all tuned to the Earth's rhythm, moving in harmony with the pulse that beats beneath their feet. The Earth's pulse is also deeply connected to the cycle of life and death. Just as the Earth itself undergoes cycles of creation and destruction, so too do the creatures that inhabit it. The plants grow, flower, and die, leaving behind seeds that will give rise to the next generation. The animals live and die, contributing to the cycle of life in ways both large and small. Even the tiniest of creatures, from the ants that scurry across the ground to the insects that pollinate the flowers, are part of this intricate web of life. The Earth's pulse, in this sense, is not just the rhythm of the planet, it is the rhythm of all life, the heartbeat that connects every living thing. Perhaps the most profound expression of the Earth's pulse is found in the energy that flows through the planet's ecosystems. The forests, the oceans, the grasslands, the deserts, all of these are alive with energy, flowing in cycles that sustain the life within them. The plants, through photosynthesis, capture the energy of the sun and convert it into food. This energy flows through the food chain, from the smallest herbivores to the largest predators, creating a dynamic system of interdependence. Every organism, in its own way, contributes to the pulse of the Earth, passing energy from one form to the next. The Earth's pulse is also felt in the cycles of the moon and the sun. The moon, with its gravitational pull, affects the tides, creating a rhythmic rise and fall of the oceans. The sun, with its constant energy, drives the weather patterns, the winds, and the growth of plants. The relationship between the Earth, the Moon, and the Sun is a dance, one that has been unfolding for billions of years. It is a dance that sustains life on Earth, creating the conditions necessary for life to flourish. As we look at the Earth's pulse from a human perspective, we begin to realize that we are not separate from this rhythm. We too are part of the planet's living system, moving in harmony with the cycles of the Earth. Our bodies, like the Earth itself, follow rhythms. Our hearts beat in time with the pulse of the planet, our breath follows the rhythm of the air, and our lives unfold according to the cycles of day and night, of seasons and time. We are not independent of the Earth's pulse, we are an extension of it. However, in our modern world, we have distanced ourselves from this pulse. We have built cities, created technology, and developed systems that allow us to control and manipulate the environment around us. But in doing so, we have become disconnected from the rhythms of the planet. We no longer hear the Earth's heartbeat in the same way our ancestors did when they lived in tune with the land and the seasons. We have lost touch with the cycles of nature, and in doing so, we have lost something important, the connection to the living pulse of the Earth. Yet even in our fast-paced, technology-driven world, the pulse of the Earth continues. It is in the steady movement of the tides, the changing of the seasons, and the slow shifting of tectonic plates. It is in the growth of plants, the migration of animals, and the renewal of life. The Earth's pulse is constant, unchanging, a reminder that no matter how much we try to control it, we are still part of this living, breathing planet. The pulse of the Earth is a hum beneath our feet. Dare that we are not alone, that we are part of something greater than ourselves. As we listen to this pulse, we are called to reconnect with the natural world, to rediscover the rhythms that sustain life. We are reminded that we are not separate from the Earth, we are part of it. The pulse of the Earth is our pulse, and it is through listening to this pulse, through reconnecting with the natural world, that we find our true place in the world. If you were to step into a dense forest or a vast meadow, you might feel surrounded by life, yet you may not notice the intricate connections between all the creatures, plants, and soil beneath your feet. The world that we see with our eyes is only the surface of a much deeper reality, one that is woven together by threads invisible to the naked eye. This is the invisible web of life, a network of connections that binds all living beings, from the tiniest microbe to the tallest tree, in a delicate dance of interdependence. It is a web of energy, of nutrients, of communication, one that sustains life and ensures the health of our planet. At first glance, it might appear that the creatures of the world exist in isolated pockets, each living independently. The birds in the trees, the ants on the ground, the fish in the stream, they all seem to be separate entities. Yet if we look more closely, we begin to understand that they are all part of something much larger. Everything is connected. The soil, the air, the water, they are not just passive elements, but active participants in this grand network. They provide the resources that life depends on, while also receiving nourishment in return. The invisible web of life is most commonly thought of as the food chain, a network of energy that flows from one organism to another. But the truth is, this web is much more complex than simply a series of predator and prey relationships. It is a web of interaction, a system of energy flow that ties together all living things. At its core, it is the process of nutrient cycling, how energy and matter flow through ecosystems, from the smallest microorganisms to the largest predators, and how this flow sustains the web of life. At the bottom of this web are the primary producers, the plants. Through photosynthesis, they capture energy from the sun and convert it into chemical energy. This energy becomes the foundation of the food web, nourishing herbivores, which in turn provide food for carnivores. But the role of plants in the web of life goes beyond simply providing food for animals. Plants also contribute to the health of the soil, producing oxygen and creating habitats for a variety of organisms. Their roots reach deep into the soil, drawing up water and nutrients, and in doing so, they help to maintain the structure of the soil itself. Plants are not just passive producers, they are active players in the ecosystem, supporting life in a multitude of ways. Above the plants we find the herbivores, the grazers, the browsers, and the feeders of the forest floor. These animals depend on plants for sustenance, and in turn they become food for predators. But even the herbivores are part of a larger network. They are not isolated entities. Their movements, their feeding habits, their waste all contribute to the web of life. Herbivores spread seeds, helping plants to reproduce and grow. They help to maintain the balance of plant populations, preventing any one species from dominating the ecosystem. They are not just consumers of plants, they are also participants in the reproductive cycle of the forest, the meadow, the field. And then, of course, there are the predators, carnivores that rely on herbivores for food. These predators help to regulate populations of herbivores, preventing overgrazing and ensuring that plant life remains healthy. But predators, too, are part of a larger system. Their waste provides nutrients for decomposers, organisms like fungi and bacteria that break down dead material, returning nutrients to the soil. This cycle of life and death is one of the most vital aspects of the invisible web. Without decomposers, nutrients would be trapped in dead bodies, and life would grind to a halt. The decomposition process is an essential part of the web, keeping the flow of energy and matter moving through the system. At the highest levels of the food chain are the apex predators, the top of the food pyramid. These creatures, such as wolves, lions, and sharks, play a critical role in maintaining the balance of ecosystems. By preying on herbivores and other animals, they prevent overpopulation and ensure that resources are distributed fairly throughout the ecosystem. But even apex predators are not isolated from the web. Their presence affects the behavior of other species. From the plants they help to protect to the smaller carnivores that feed on the same prey. Apex predators are not just consumers, they are architects of the ecosystem, shaping the structure and flow of life around them. But the invisible web of life extends beyond just the food chain. It encompasses every level of interaction between organisms, from the microbial to the macroscopic. In fact, the smallest organisms often play the most significant roles in the web. Microbes, bacteria, fungi, and other microorganisms form the foundation of ecosystems, facilitating nutrient cycling, breaking down organic matter, and supporting the health of plants and animals. They work in partnership with larger organisms, forming symbiotic relationships that benefit both parties. For example, certain types of bacteria in the soil fix nitrogen, turning it into a form that plants can use. In return, the plants provide nutrients for the bacteria. Similarly, the relationship between bees and flowers is one of mutual benefit. Bees pollinate flowers, helping them reproduce, while flowers provide nectar that sustains the bees. The web of life is also a network of communication. Plants, for example, communicate with one another through the roots, sending chemical signals to warn of danger or to attract pollinators. Trees in a forest, through the mycorrhizal networks in the soil, share nutrients and information with one another, helping the forest to thrive. Animals, too, communicate in ways that we are only beginning to understand. Dolphins use complex vocalizations to communicate with one another, while ants release pheromones to signal the location of food or warn of danger. Even in the plant world, there are signals. When a plant is being eaten by an herbivore, it might release chemicals that attract predators of that herbivore, thus creating a chain of events that helps to protect the plant. This web is not just a network of physical connections, it is a web of energy, of movement, of life. It is dynamic, constantly shifting and changing as new life is born, as creatures interact, and as ecosystems evolve. The invisible web of life is a system of checks and balances, where every action has an effect, every interaction contributes to the whole. And though we may not always see it, we are all part of this web, connected in ways that are deep, profound, and beyond our understanding. But this web is also fragile. The delicate balance of nature is easily disturbed. When one part of the system is broken, when species go extinct, when ecosystems are destroyed, when pollution poisons the environment, the entire web begins to unravel. The loss of one species can have a cascading effect, causing ripples that are felt throughout the entire ecosystem. The web of life is resilient, yes, but it is not invincible. It requires balance, it requires care, and it requires respect. In many ways, the invisible web of life is a reflection of the interconnectedness of all things. It is a reminder that we are not isolated from the natural world, we are part of it. The choices we make, the actions we take, have far-reaching effects on the world around us. Every tree we plant, every piece of trash we pick up, every action we take to protect the environment is a thread woven into this web, contributing to the larger tapestry of life. The web of life reminds us that we are not separate from nature, we are nature, and as we care for the world, we care for ourselves. As we take a step back and consider the vastness of this invisible web, we come to appreciate the beauty of the connections that bind us all. The birds in the sky, the insects in the soil, the trees in the forest, all are part of a grand, interconnected system, working together to create the balance of life. The web of life is not just a scientific concept, it is a philosophy, a way of understanding the world. It is a reminder that everything is connected, that every life, no matter how small, plays a role in the larger story of the earth. Water, it is one of the simplest yet most profound elements that we encounter in our daily lives. From the gentle streams that wind through valleys to the mighty oceans that stretch beyond the horizon, water shapes the world around us. But beyond its essential role in sustaining life, there is something more mysterious, more poetic about water, a hidden quality that we, as humans, have yet to fully understand. Water has a memory. This may sound like a strange idea, one that seems more at home in the realm of myth and folklore than in the world of science. But if we dig deeper into the nature of water, we begin to uncover something extraordinary. Water, it seems, is not just a passive substance that flows and changes state at our will. It is a living, breathing entity, one that holds the imprints of the places it has been and the forces it has encountered. The water we drink, the water we bathe in, the rain that falls from the sky, all of it carries with it a history, a memory of the journeys it has made, the experiences it has had, and the energy it has absorbed. Water is the ultimate traveler, moving across the globe in an endless cycle. It evaporates from the oceans, rising into the air as vapor and then condenses into clouds, where it is carried by the winds. It falls back to the earth as rain, snow, or hail, soaking into the soil or running off into rivers and streams where it begins the journey again. This cycle, known as the water cycle, is one of the most important processes on Earth. It regulates the climate, replenishes groundwater supplies, and provides the water that sustains life. But even as it moves, water retains the memory of its journey. Each droplet is a tiny repository of history, holding within it the essence of the places it has been. Consider for a moment the way water behaves when it interacts with the world. When it flows over rocks, it picks up minerals, shaping the landscape and altering its course. When it moves through the soil, it absorbs nutrients, interacting with the plants and microorganisms that live there. The water in a river is not the same as the water in a lake, and the water in a mountain stream is not the same as the water in the ocean. Each body of water is shaped by its environment, and in turn, it shapes that environment, leaving behind a memory that can last for millennia. Water's memory is perhaps most evident in the way it interacts with living organisms. Every drop of water that falls from the sky carries with it the potential to nourish life. Plants and animals, from the tiniest seed to the largest whale, rely on water for survival, but water also has a deeper connection to life. It is the substance that connects all living things, the medium through which nutrients, oxygen, and energy are transported to every cell. The very cells of our bodies, the cells that make up every living organism, are filled with water. Water is the glue that holds life together, the medium through which all biological processes take place, and in doing so, it carries the memory of life itself. Water's memory is also embedded in the Earth's geology. Rivers carve canyons, lakes fill valleys, and oceans shape the coastline. Water has the power to transform landscapes, wearing down mountains and depositing silt to create fertile plains. The land that we walk on, the soil that we plant our crops in, is shaped by the movement of water over time. Water is the sculptor of the Earth's surface, shaping it in ways that are both subtle and dramatic. The rocks that line a riverbed are smooth and worn, evidence of the centuries of water that have passed over them, carrying away their rough edges and leaving behind a smooth, polished surface. The layers of sediment that lie beneath the oceans are a record of the slow, steady movement of water, the deposition of particles that have been carried from far-off lands. Yet the memory of water is not just a physical record. Water has a deeper, more mysterious ability to retain information. This ability has been suggested in scientific studies exploring the concept of water memory in relation to how water molecules behave. While the scientific community has not fully understood or embraced this idea, it continues to be a topic of fascination. One of the most well-known studies on water memory was conducted by Dr. Jacques Benveniste in the 1980s, when he suggested that water could remember substances that had been dissolved in it, even after those substances had been removed. Though his conclusions were met with skepticism and have been difficult to replicate, they sparked a broader interest in the idea that water, as a medium, could retain a form of memory. Water seems to be more than just a passive vessel. It has the ability to store and retain information in ways we are only beginning to understand. The idea of water's memory takes on even deeper significance when we consider its role in the human experience. Water has always been a source of comfort, of healing, of connection. For centuries, people have turned to water for spiritual and physical rejuvenation. In ancient cultures, water was revered as sacred. Sacred springs, holy wells, and healing baths were believed to carry the power to purify, to heal, and to restore. The act of immersing oneself in water, whether in a river, a lake, or a sea, is often seen as a cleansing ritual, a way to wash away impurities, both physical and spiritual. Water, in its purity, is a symbol of renewal, of rebirth, of cleansing. But the memory of water is not just a personal or cultural phenomenon. It is also an ecological one. Water is the lifeblood of ecosystems, and the history of the earth is written in the water that flows through it. When we look at a river or a lake, we are not just seeing water. We are seeing the entire history of the land and the life it supports. Every drop of water has passed through countless systems, through the air, through the soil, through the plants and animals that live in it. It carries with it the memory of everything it has encountered. When a river floods, it doesn't just carry water, it carries the memory of the storm that brought it, the lands it has passed through, and the sediments it has collected along the way. Water's memory is particularly poignant in the context of climate change. As the Earth's temperatures rise, the patterns of water movement, rainfall, snowmelt, and river flow, are being altered. Water is becoming a more erratic, less predictable force, and the ecosystems that depend on it are struggling to adapt. The memory of water is becoming clouded, distorted by the rapid changes happening on our planet. The glaciers that once slowly released water into rivers are melting faster than ever, and the oceans are rising, swallowing land and eroding coastlines. The historical patterns of water movement are being disrupted, leaving behind a new, uncertain future. Water's memory, once steady and predictable, is being overwritten by the forces of climate change. Yet even in the face of these challenges, water continues to be a source of hope. Despite the changes occurring, water's role in sustaining life remains unchanged. It still flows, still nourishes, still renews. And it is through our relationship with water, through our understanding of its memory and its power, that we can begin to heal the wounds we've inflicted upon the planet. The water that sustains life is also the water that connects us to the earth, to each other, and to the future. It is a reminder that despite the challenges we face, life is resilient. Just as water flows and adapts to the world around it, so too can we. In the end, the memory of water is a reminder of the interconnectedness of all things. It is a symbol of life's continuity, of the rhythms that sustain us, and of the deep, timeless forces that govern the planet. The water we drink, the rain that falls from the sky, the oceans that stretch to the horizon, all carry with them the story of life itself. And as we continue to navigate the challenges of our time, we can look to water as a source of renewal, a symbol of hope, and a reminder of the powerful, lasting connections that bind us all together. As we continue our exploration of water's profound role in the grand cycle of life, we begin to see its influence not just as a physical presence, but as a carrier of histories, emotions, and deep memories. The very essence of water, its ability to shape landscapes, nurture life, and flow through ecosystems, is more than just a passive cycle. Water is a living archive, holding within it the traces of every event it has touched, every land it has traveled, every creature it has nourished. Its memory stretches back to the beginning of time and continues to flow into the future, a constant reminder of the interconnectedness of all life. Water is both an individual and collective experience, transcending the boundaries of time, place, and species. It has been and always will be a part of every living being on Earth, whether through the blood that runs through our veins, the rain that falls upon our fields, or the rivers that carve through mountains. Water is an intimate part of our existence. It sustains us in ways that are almost invisible, circulating through our bodies, through the atmosphere, and through the planet itself. It is not just a resource, it is the lifeblood of the Earth, and its memory, too, holds the history of life on this planet. One of the most powerful manifestations of water's memory is found in its ability to shape the landscapes it flows through. Rivers, lakes, and oceans are not static. They are constantly evolving, carving, and transforming the world. Every drop of water that flows from the mountains to the seas carries with it the imprint of its journey. When water moves through soil, it picks up minerals, nutrients, and energy, carrying them with it, leaving behind traces of its presence in the form of fertile lands, lush forests, or dry deserts. The land is never the same after water has passed through it. It is reshaped, reformed, reborn, all thanks to the flow of water's memory. Take, for example, the majestic Grand Canyon. Carved over millions of years by the Colorado River, this natural wonder is the result of water's patient, unyielding force. Every layer of rock, every ridge and valley is a testament to the memory of water, to the slow yet steady erosion that shaped the landscape. The Grand Canyon is not just a geological formation. It is a record of time, a reminder of how water has shaped the Earth's surface. The river's flow, gentle yet persistent, has etched its history into the rock, creating a timeless narrative that stretches back to a time when the land was much different from the way it is now. And yet, water's memory is not confined to the past. It is ever present, shaping the world in real time. When rain falls, it transforms the landscape anew. Each drop of rain has a journey of its own, falling from the clouds to the earth, soaking into the soil, nourishing plants, replenishing rivers, and seeping into aquifers that supply water for millions of people. Water is the silent architect of life's growth, always renewing, always moving, always in motion. Its memory is both in the past and the present, shaping the future as it flows through our lives, nurturing the world around us. In the oceans, the memory of water plays out on an even grander scale. The vastness of the seas is an expansive canvas upon which the story of Earth's history is painted. Oceans are the keepers of life's origins, holding the earliest forms of life within their depths. The oceans have seen the rise and fall of civilizations, the birth and death of countless species, and the changing of the Earth's climate. The memory of water in the oceans is not just a passive record. It is a living, breathing testament to the cycles of life, death, and renewal. The very composition of the oceans tells the story of Earth itself. The saltiness of the water, the depth of the seas, and the diversity of life within them all speak of the planet's ancient past. Every wave that crashes on the shore is a reminder of the vast energy contained within water, a force that has shaped the coastlines of the world, eroded cliffs, and carried the stories of the Earth across vast distances. The oceans are not just bodies of water, they are living archives of Earth's history, preserving the memory of everything that has ever been, from the smallest plankton to the largest whale, from the first cells of life to the present moment. Even the water in our bodies carries with it a memory, an intimate connection to the world around us. The human body is made up of about 60% water, a fluid that circulates through our veins, nourishes our organs, and maintains the delicate balance of life within us. Water is the medium through which all of our cells communicate, through which nutrients are delivered and waste is removed. Every drop of water that enters our body has been part of the earth for eons, traveling through the atmosphere, the rivers, and the oceans before finding its way into our cells. Water, in this sense, is a connection to the planet itself, linking us to the natural world in ways that we cannot fully fathom. But water's memory is not just physical, it is also emotional. Water has always been a symbol of renewal, of cleansing, of transformation. In many cultures, water is associated with purification, with washing away impurities, both physical and spiritual. The act of bathing in a river, a lake, or the ocean is a ritual of renewal, a chance to shed the burdens of the past and be reborn. Water has the power to heal, to soothe, and to calm. Its gentle rhythm, whether it be the lapping of waves on the shore or the babbling of a brook in the forest, has a way of soothing the mind and soul. It is as if water, in its very nature, understands the process of healing, of letting go, of moving forward. The memory of water is deeply embedded in the consciousness of humanity. We are drawn to water, both physically and spiritually. Ancient civilizations settled near rivers and oceans, recognizing the life-giving power of water. The earliest stories of humanity, from creation myths to spiritual traditions, are filled with references to water. Water is the source of life, the force that shapes the world, and the element that connects all living things. From the biblical story of Noah's Ark to the ancient Egyptian reverence for the Nile River, water has always played a central role in our understanding of the world and our place in it. And yet, as we move further into the modern world, we have become increasingly disconnected from this memory. Our lives are no longer governed by the rhythms of water, by the rise and fall of the tides or the changing of the seasons. We turn on a tap and expect water to flow freely, without understanding the journey it has taken to reach us, the forces that shape it, and the stories it carries. The natural world, with all its interconnections, has become distant, replaced by concrete and technology. We have lost touch with the deeper rhythms of the planet, the memories carried in the water, the energy of life that flows through it. Yet even in our modern world, water continues to remind us of our connection to the earth. In the quiet flow of a river, in the gentle rain that nourishes the soil, in the waves that crash against the shore, we are reminded that we are still part of this grand, interconnected web of life. The memory of water is still with us, waiting to be rediscovered. It is a memory that connects us to the planet, to the creatures that share it with us, and to the ancient forces that have shaped life on Earth for millions of years. In the end, the memory of water is a reminder of the deep, timeless connection between all life. Water is the thread that ties us to the Earth, to the past, and to the future. It is the lifeblood of the planet, sustaining life in ways that we can barely comprehend. As we move forward, we must remember the lessons that water has to offer, the lessons of interconnectedness, renewal, and the eternal cycle of life. Water is not just a resource, it is a memory, a living archive of the Earth's history and the key to its future. As we reflect upon the profound memory of water, we begin to see how deeply it shapes not only the natural world but also the course of human history. Water is not just an element, it is a living, breathing force, a witness to every moment of life on Earth. It has been there since the beginning, carving out the land, nourishing life, and sustaining civilizations. Water, in all its forms, carries the stories of everything it has touched, from the deepest oceans to the tiniest droplet of rain. Water's memory is a reflection of time itself. It holds within it the essence of the past, the present, and the future. Every river, every lake, every ocean is a record of the Earth's history, etched into the planet by the flow of water over millennia. The ancient rivers that carved out the Grand Canyon or the Nile River that sustained the rise of civilizations, these are not just bodies of water. They are living histories, holding within them the secrets of time. The water that passes through these rivers has been there for thousands, even millions of years, bearing witness to the changes in the landscape, to the creatures that have come and gone, to the civilizations that have flourished and fallen. The memory of water is a repository of knowledge, a silent witness to the unfolding of life on Earth. But beyond its historical significance, water is also a keeper of emotional memories. Water has always been a symbol of purification, renewal, and healing. From the sacred rivers of ancient cultures to the modern-day act of bathing, water has been revered as a force that cleanses the body and soul. The act of stepping into a river or an ocean is not just a physical experience, it is a spiritual one. It is an act of letting go, of washing away the burdens of life, of reconnecting with the earth. In many traditions, water is believed to carry the power of transformation. It is through water that we are reborn, whether in the form of baptism, a spiritual cleansing, or simply the renewal that comes from standing in a rainstorm or bathing in a lake. Water's ability to heal is rooted in its nature as a connector. Water connects the land to the sky, the earth to the ocean, the individual to the collective. It is a medium through which we are all bound, and it reminds us that we are never truly separate from one another. Just as water flows through the soil and nourishes the plants, so too does it flow through us, nourishing our bodies, our spirits, and our relationships. The memory of water is the memory of connection, of life flowing through all things, of the interconnectedness of every living being on earth. But this connection is not always harmonious. The memory of water is also one of imbalance, of the power of water when it is disturbed or exploited. Water is a force of nature, and when it is tampered with, it can become destructive. The history of human civilization is marked by our attempts to harness water, to control its flow, to bend it to our will, and in many cases this has led to disaster. The damming of rivers, the draining of wetlands, the pollution of oceans, all of these actions have altered the natural flow of water, disturbing the delicate balance that sustains life. The memory of water, in this sense, is also a reminder of the consequences of our actions, of the price we pay when we disrupt the natural order. Consider the rivers that have been dammed to create reservoirs for agriculture or energy production. While these dams provide water for irrigation and power, they also disrupt entire ecosystems. The flow of the river is changed, the habitats of countless species are destroyed, and the delicate balance of life is upset. The memory of water in these rivers is forever altered, as the natural rhythms of the water are replaced by artificial constraints. The same can be said for the pollution of oceans and lakes, where the water, once pure and clear, becomes tainted by chemicals and waste. This polluted water carries with it the memory of human negligence, of our disregard for the natural world, and the consequences that follow. But even as we disturb the flow of water, we also witness its remarkable resilience. Despite the damage we have caused, water has a way of healing itself. Rivers once polluted can begin to cleanse themselves when given the chance. The ecosystems that depend on water can adapt, finding new ways to thrive in the face of adversity. Water's memory is not one of hopelessness, but of hope. It is a testament to the Earth's ability to renew itself, to regenerate, to start anew. This regenerative power of water is especially evident in the natural processes of the water cycle. Water evaporates from the oceans, rises into the atmosphere, and falls back to Earth as rain, snow, or hail. This cycle is endless, and through it, water is constantly being purified, replenished, and recycled. The memory of water is a cycle, a loop that never ends, that continues to flow, to nourish, to sustain. It is a reminder that no matter how much damage we may inflict upon the planet, there is always the possibility for renewal, for rebirth, for a fresh start. Water's ability to regenerate is a lesson for us all. No matter how lost we may feel, we too can renew ourselves, can heal, can begin again. At the heart of water's memory is the concept of interdependence. Water does not exist in isolation. It is part of a larger system, a web of connections that link every living thing on the planet. The water in a river is not just the water in that river. It is part of a much larger system that includes the atmosphere, the soil, the plants, and the animals. Water flows through all of these systems, connecting them in ways that we are only beginning to understand. The memory of water is a memory of connection, of unity, of the way that all life is intertwined. It is a reminder that we are not separate from nature, but a part of it, and that the health of the earth is directly tied to the health of the water. And this interconnectedness extends beyond the natural world. Water is also a powerful symbol of unity and cooperation among humans. Throughout history, water has brought people together, whether in the form of rivers that facilitate trade and travel, lakes that serve as meeting places, or oceans that connect continents. Water has always been a source of life, and its ability to nourish has led to the growth of civilizations. It is through water that we have been able to thrive, to build cities, to create societies. And just as water brings us together, it also has the power to divide us, to create boundaries, to shape the course of human history. The history of water is the history of human civilization, marked by our relationship with this essential element. But even as we work together to share and protect water, we must also recognize the fragility of this precious resource. Water is not infinite. Freshwater resources are limited, and in many parts of the world they are being depleted at an alarming rate. Pollution and climate change are further threatening our access to clean, safe water. The memory of water is one of both abundance and scarcity, a reminder that we must take care of this precious resource, that we must protect it for future generations. The memory of water also holds a deeper, more spiritual significance. Water is a symbol of life, of renewal, and of purification in many cultures. From the sacred rivers of India to the holy wells of Europe, water has been revered as a divine gift. It is a symbol of connection to the divine, a force that transcends the material world and connects us to something greater. In the act of drinking water, in the act of bathing in it, we are reminded of the sacredness of life, of the purity that water represents, and of the deep connection we share with the earth. Water's memory is a spiritual memory, one that connects us to the forces of nature, to the divine, and to the cycle of life itself. As we reflect on the memory of water, we are reminded of the ways in which it shapes our world, our lives, and our future. Water is more than just a resource. It is a force of nature, a memory keeper, a healer. It is the foundation of life on earth, and it is through our relationship with water that we find our place in the world. The memory of water is a reminder of the interconnectedness of all things, of the way that life flows, changes, and renews itself. It is a reminder that, no matter how far we may stray from the natural world, water will always carry the memory of life and bring us back to the source.